know, I'm broke. Not for long. Not for long. Not.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are back at it again. I hope we are. But hi everyone, I hope you are good. Today the topic I want to talk about is interesting, but essentially I said I want to be audacious. And that comes from a lot of things, but it's one of those things that I want to talk about today because I think it's in this journey or whatever this is. I'm trying to, everything you like one thing and the algorithm just perpetuates everything and hyperbolizes everything. So with this being content creation, it's algorithm, this system, this creator insights, this 4 times a day. It's like you're really sharp. Like can we calm down? But on the other side of that, it's a matter of I have to be audacious. And audacious means consistency. And that's a pillow that not a lot of us are ready to swallow, but more importantly accept. And it's one of those things that I think I wouldn't be being true to myself if I don't express that. And I think it's one of those things where I'm like, I need to say out loud so that I can look back at this and say, Khatazo or Western, no girl, no. But the first point I want to talk about is, when you have this innate, deep internal thing in your heart that I'm supposed to be this big thing, whatever this big thing feels to you, and it's more, not scary, it's just more validating when other people see it, but you don't even know what this big thing is, but everyone is already aware that you are supposed to be this. Hey, I don't even know what's a good word, because there's a lot of words that are running through my head, like that would properly explain, the magnitude of who you're supposed to be. And it's quite frustrating not being able to articulate or to draft or to be a visionary for what you're supposed to be, and being you being the first of whatever this big thing is means that you're going to be, or you are going to have to be exceptional, and you don't know where to start. And for me, let me preface this by saying it's not anxiety or pressure, it's just a question mark that I'm trying to work through. And it's also, but then again, I come to the conclusion that it will happen, and the way I get to it will be the way it's supposed to be. And trying to meander throughout or through this thought process is not going to help me become this big thing, because, and again, big is so vastly different and very specific to all of us, but I am sure most of you can relate to what this thing is. And another thing, I'm slowly realizing that school is not for me. Not that I'm illiterate or I can't, I'm okay in school, I do well in school, but I'm realizing that I want to make art that is impactful and meaningful, and through whatever lens that looks like. And it's me trying to, how do I do that? It's not like, again, it's not anxiety or pressure, it's just a question of okay, guy, where do I begin? And why do I feel this thing inside that's saying you need to do this, but you don't know what this is, but you know that when you do this, it's going to be so amazing, ground shaking, opening doors. So yeah, I think it's also important to show that sometimes it is a question mark, and it is a literally, it's just, but you know that, or a future you is going to look back at this and be like, you knew what you were doing. You just have to give yourself time and to allow things to unfold as they should. So that's why I'm also not feeling the pressure to be this amazing thing, because I will be that. I don't know what that is, but I will be. And then again, I also tend to run everything through my head and then have a proper answer. But I also do want to say that it's frustrating, you know, like dealing or trying to uncover what is it that I'm really supposed to be tapped into, you know, because of course, for me at least, my background is very different from someone who's privileged or who has clear intentions or a straight path, where for me, I realized from a young age that I loved fashion and just watching runway shows, books, magazines, being so fascinated with that and loving it, but also being an academic, liking books and specific fields and enjoying that, or even with this being or creating some form of content. I don't even know what my content is right now. That's why I'm just letting it out so that it shapes itself into what it needs to be. But all of these things can be frustrating, not knowing what am I artistic in a painting way, in a singing way, because I love both. Am I artistic in a video way, fashion way, school way, pottery way? So it's one of those things where you're like, you know what? Give me a second. And that comes to my last point, being paths. For me, I think, hopefully future me agrees, but I think I'm everyone's path. My assumption, everyone's path is either like lines, but I think the path of a creative or whoever people consider, or whatever demographic of people feel that they are creatives in whatever form that looks like, I feel like our paths are so interwoven that, but which makes sense because I love fashion, I love content, I love singing, I love painting, I love people who can draw, who can sketch, who can, I think it's one of the most beautiful things to express. But I know that there's also hard work that goes behind such things, and I love an outcome that was built on hard work and hours. Something that is 10 minutes to you could have taken 2 months, you know. So it's just navigating through that if I sit and not be honest with myself and just express it as it is, it's not going to be helpful to anyone, more so me. Yeah, I don't know what this little bloop is, but hopefully it will be the beginning of seeds that are planted, seeds that will bring this to fruition, to whatever that is, seeds of reflection, seeds of new beginnings, seeds of chance. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Seeds of chance. That as a creative, I'm slowly but surely coming to the realization that my path, and you don't have to agree, but my path is interwoven into many paths that come into one, that seems like it's one path, but if you dig deeper, there's a meandering interwovenness that is happening. So I think that's that. And another thing with the content that I'm thinking I'm really doing, and I'm very hyper fixated on, I don't want to create other content of YouTubers that were successful, because I feel like that's not being honest to myself, you know, not being original. I just feel like having the hopes that this is going to make me something big because it made someone big is diluted to me. If it is big, I want it to be big because of what it is, not that it is built on someone else's experience, you know? And I think that's admirable to say, hopefully. And yeah, I think building on others should never be the kicking or the kickstart of something beautiful. I want it to be built on whatever I feel is honest to me, and that should be enough. Because in future, acknowledging someone who did this, that's perfectly okay. But trying to create who you are and what your narrative is based on someone else's work isn't what I want to do specifically. So yeah. Alrighty, I think that's that. Bye.